There are businesses with worse products than you finding thousands of customers banging down their door, and yet you struggle to find clients. Why is that? Well, I've sold to thousands of people, everything from high-ticket consulting and agency work to passive income and low-ticket products that generate me recurring revenue. And there's always one thing I do to make sure that I land clients. So if you want to fill your inbox with clients, and even better, use this exact same method for your clients to help them get clients, then let's get started. Oh, by the way, you're also not going to have to send a single cold email. What I'm going to talk through is going to work if you are literally starting from scratch and you absolutely have not got your first single client at all. You don't have any testimonials, you don't have any proof, all the way up to businesses who have got a few clients, but then they want to take it to the next level, maybe launch a new product, generate some recurring revenue, or move into like high ticket products or low ticket products. This works for any type of business, any type of product system, and any sort of stage of business. So this first part is, I think, where people get really frustrated and confused. And if you don't understand this, you're always going to find it difficult to get customers, and you're always going to be confused about why other people seem to sort of find customers really, really easily. When I finally got my head around this, it saved me from wasting thousands of dollars on needless ads and paying content creators. And I knew exactly what I needed to focus on to get started. So you can essentially travel sort of anywhere in the world, right? If this is you here, we could send you anywhere on the globe, but you're going to have to do something to get there. Now, you could travel in luxury and style, sort of at your convenience, maybe with like a private jet or something. That's a plane, by the way. But you would have to pay a lot of money to get treatment like that, right? You could also get cheaper transport, like the train, but you kind of have to work around their schedule and their timetable, depending on when and how they put the trains on the platform. You can take faster transport, you can take slower transport, you can take more comfortable transport, you can take more convenient transport, or you could walk and you could do all of the work yourself. Either way, you're going to have to give up or do something in order to get to where you want to get to. But depending on which one of these three resources you have, that will determine how fast you get there. If you want to get customers, you have three options for being able to get them. Presumably, what you actually want is sales, money from these customers. That's the ultimate goal. And the three ways you can get this is either you can spend a lot of money. Now, for some businesses, this is fine. They say, we have a budget, we have an advertising budget, a sales budget, a marketing budget. So we're going to spend a lot of money in order to get money back. There is absolutely nothing that you or I can do about this. You are going to have to use one of these resources, and money is one of these resources. However, to a lot of businesses, you might not have the revenue to be able to invest. Now, by the way, I actually am going to share with you some customer acquisition strategies that if you either don't have the other two resources or you've already used up the other two resources, we can use money. So I'm going to cover all of that in this video. The second resource that you need to be able to use in order to find customers is audience. Now, audience is really important because if you have a large list or you have a large following, maybe on social media, or one of your clients has this, they need to be able to convert this into customers. Now, a lot of businesses actually struggle to do this. The reason that I like audience is that you can acquire an audience for free using one of the other resources, and then you can convert that audience into sales. However, there's an impression that you need to have a very large audience, so it might not be that you feel that audience is the right kind of model for you. I do want to explain very quickly, however, that you actually don't need a huge audience. If you had 100 people following you or 1,000 people following you, that can easily turn into a six-figure business. So I don't want you to think you have to have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers. It can be in just the hundreds, and I'll show you how we can do that. I'm also going to show you how you can actually grow an audience for free. But you need to either have money or audience. Or the other thing, if you don't have money, if you don't have audience, the only thing you've got left is time. Time works across two factors, and I mean this literally in the sense of like the length of time from when you start to when you finish, but also the amount of time and effort that you put into creating customers and finding customers. If you don't have money, if you don't have audience, you're going to have to use time. There is nothing else in the world that you or I can do about this. By the way, if you want this whiteboard, you can actually get it for free with all of the other notes that are coming up. You can head over to sellyourservice.co.uk/whiteboard, where you can save it, you can use it for notes, you can share it with your customers completely for free. Just head over to sellyourservice.co.uk/whiteboard. And now the important thing is to understand, well, how do I take one of these resources and convert it into customers? Now, ignoring this part of the process means you're always going to be disappointed in how many clients you're getting. But you need to understand why some clients are easier to get than others and how to do it, and which is the correct customer acquisition strategy for your business for where it is right now. When you train for a goal, maybe like a fitness goal, like lifting a super heavy weight or running a marathon, it would be insane to start with the goal that you want to hit. Let's say that you have a goal of like a 200 kilo deadlift or something, which is about 440 pounds. It would be crazy if you just went into day one in the gym and went, right, that's what I'm going to load the bar up and I'm just going to try and lift that up, because you'd never get anywhere and you'd lose motivation because you wouldn't be seeing any progress. Now, it's not entirely your fault, because if you pay attention to all the sort of the nonsense bullshit guru information that's out there, they'll tell you that you need supplements, or you need to do things like intermittent fasting or skipping cardio or taking BCAA or whatever, all of which is ignoring the fact that you actually need to build up to this weight in the first place. Customers come at a price, and what they cost depends on what you can give at the start. If your final goal was to hit a 200 kilo deadlift, and right now you're starting at 0, you need to give different resources to this point. And then when you get to maybe, 100 kilos, you need to then give slightly different resources. And then when you get to this level, you need to give different resources. It's about leveling up what you give the market in order to get customers out of the market. So when I share this with people, it sort of like blows their mind. I like triangles, by the way, as you can probably tell. So this is the pyramid of customers. And what I'm going to go through is in order of easiest to hardest to get, and also depending on the amount of resources that you need to invest. Now, if you're looking at this and you think, oh, that sounds like a really good one, I'm actually going to cover that at the end on how to do this. I did say we were going to cover everything. So right at the top, networking is one of the fastest and easiest ways to get clients. Now, this area here basically represents how many clients you can get for the investment. Think of it as your ROI. Networking is very fast and easy to find clients if you go to the right event. However, it can also take an enormous amount of time to get relatively little results out of it. So while it's a really good quick fix, it's not something I would build my entire business network on. Does that make sense? Then you also have what I call organic social. Now, organic social is a particular method that I'm going to cover off. It's essentially networking via social media in order to get clients. It's very quick and easy to do. In fact, I've seen clients get customers within a matter of hours of doing this, but it's very difficult to scale. Next up, we have content. Now, what I call content, I mean organic content. So this is you creating content. I like this because this is the beginning of scalable ROI, because it can go viral. However, it can take a long time, and I'm going to cover all of this in a bit, right? Then we have referrals. In my opinion, referrals are the easiest way on earth to get clients. The reason I like referrals is because you're going to be asking people who have already worked with you to say, can I get access to your network? However, there is sort of a limit to either how far you can push that or how wide your referral network is. The other area is community. Community would be when you set up a Discord server or a Facebook group or a forum or something talking to a particular market, and then you use them as a way of getting customers. I'll talk about how fast and slow that can work, but community and referrals are relatively interlinked. You then have something called a micro product. So a micro product is like a book on Amazon or a Kindle book. It's something that you sell that uses another engine to acquire customers without you necessarily being there. Micro products work extremely well, and they can be unbelievably viral and scalable. However, they require quite a lot of work to put in the first place. And then the final part we have is ads and paid content. Ads and paid content require pretty significant investment of money. However, these can scale way beyond anything that you could think of. But what they need is a proven concept and a proven offer to go out to market. And when you're able to do paid content, it means that you're able to basically say to somebody else, I want you to create the content to put out to our market to draw in leads and sales. This, for me, for example, is paid content because I have editors and I have people helping me with the script and helping me with YouTube. Even though it's me doing it, there's actually quite a lot of investment on the back end. So we're right down here in terms of the pyramid of customers. So full disclaimer, High Level, I am actually an affiliate of High Level. So anytime you buy through my link, I might get a kickback. It doesn't necessarily increase your price. It's just a way for them to sort of refer me and to pay me for kind of, bringing them customers. However, I have got a completely free trial plus a 48-minute live setup process that you can join in a boot camp to get your High Level account up and running as quick as anything within about 48 minutes. I also include all of these funnels and a bunch of other funnels and templates and automations with the 30-day free trial. You can use my link down below, or if you head to sellyourservice.co.uk/high level, that's one of the fastest ways to get it as well. You can cancel, downgrade, upgrade at any time. It basically does absolutely everything. Use the link and let's get back to the video. So this final part, if you can understand this final process, you will know more than 99% of all the marketing experts out there. You will also see why some campaigns never, ever, ever get results. You'll also see exactly what you need to do to find your next client. I want to ask you, if you had a map that told you where your next client is, this is you, and there was this big red X to show you where the most profitable client would be, and it told you to avoid all the different sort of mountains and lakes and swamps and stuff, and it said, go this way, would you follow that map? Or would you ignore it? Because a staggering number of people ignore the map that tells them where they are going to find customers. So this is the part of the process where I'm actually going to tell you how to acquire the customers, right? This is the customer acquisition matrix. It's a very, very sexy name. Now, the deal is, by the way, guys, anything I share with you on YouTube, you are free to share with clients. That's why I offer the whiteboard for free. Go ahead and download it, share it with clients, help educate them, use this as part of your marketing materials. That's 100% fine. If you feel that you would like to credit me or say, hey, this guy called Mike Killen sort of showed me this, then by all means do that. But if it's not appropriate at the time, then don't worry about it. But the point is, whatever I give you, I want you to give the rest of the world. So like I said, this is the customer acquisition matrix. This axis here along the top to bottom is either effort or time. And as we go further down, it basically costs you more money. So this is where you want to spend your resources. And then going from left to right, we either have no or slow results, or we have very, very fast and lots of results. Now, you might think, well, why would I ever want to go to the no or slow one? Because, spoiler alert, things that tend to cost more effort and more time and less money start on the no and slow side. It might be that you don't have the resources to get fast and lots of customers, but I'm going to show you how you can do this properly. So we started with networking. Networking lands about here. There's basically not a huge amount of effort, not a huge amount of time required. It's also relatively cheap. You can go to events for free. And when you go networking, the idea is to obviously build a list of sort of leads and clients from within the group. My advice to you is choose your events wisely. Lots of people go to events with other marketers, which is a complete waste of time. Instead, I want you to go to an event with your customers. Now, that might sound obvious, but if I sold specifically to YouTubers, I wouldn't go to an event that helps marketers. I would go to an event that helps YouTubers. That's what's different about approaching networking properly. Have an extremely clear, call to action. Don't tell people, oh, I'm a marketer, I do SEO. Say to people, I help YouTubers turn their highest performing videos into six-figure sales funnels. That is way more appealing. Or say to them, I help YouTubers attract 100,000 views per video. Whatever your thing is that you do needs to be the thing that they want is. That's where networking falls. Next up, we have what's known as organic social. So this requires a little bit more effort and time, but it can also get you more clients slightly quicker. Organic social is a really simple process where you're going to find groups and communities of your customers. If you only work with podcasters, you're going to find groups, forums, websites, blogs with your customers. You're then going to click on people's profiles and manually add them as a friend, as a follower, or as a connection if you're using something like LinkedIn. Side note, you absolutely do not post in the group your offer. That is not what I'm talking about here. What you do is you reply to posts and you just give answers. Now, what this does is twofold. Inside the group, there are going to be posts that ask questions. Your job is to answer them. Here's a pro tip. Never, ever, ever respond to job posts inside the group. You're just going to get lost and it completely lowers your social stock. When you add them as a social connection, they eventually become like a friend or a connection or whatever it might be. And what you're going to do is you're going to post content on your wall talking about a specific offer. Maybe it's something really, really useful and valuable. Maybe you're giving something away. I don't have time to go into that right now. But what you do want is you say, comment on this post if you would like a copy or if you'd like to get in touch or book a call. Because what happens is that over time, all the friends that you connect with who are from this group, they will see what is posted on this wall. When they then interact and comment, you can have a conversation with them in the DMs and it doesn't come across as cold email or cold spam or cold messaging or anything like that. They're replying to seeing something posted on your wall. Organic social media has a chance to generate you a lot of clients very, very quickly, but it does take time and it's difficult to scale. But if you're starting from absolute scratch, this is the method that I would use. So next up, we have content. Now, what content actually does is it spans this gap here. Creating content can start with generating very few clients, but when it goes viral, it can generate you thousands of leads. Creating content really just comes down to three things. Your content has to set an extremely high expectation. You need to provoke curiosity, as in, like, how do they do that? And what you also need to do is make it seem fast, easy, simple. Proven is a good one as well. Now, some of these are going to be contradictory, and that's sort of the delicate balance that you have to work with. If you think about who your audience is, what's the number one thing they want? If you say that you work with mechanics, what mechanics want more than anything is cars booked in for a nice, quick and easy service, right? If you say to someone, I can show you how to get 10 mechanic appointments a week, that's way more important to them than I can grow your social media following. If you say I can help you or I can help you get 10 mechanic appointments a day, even better. And maybe you say, I can help you get 10 mechanic appointments a day without spending a cent on advertising, or you won't have to speak to anyone on the phone. That makes it seem easy and simple. And it also makes it seem proven. That's the type of offer that you need to create. And then your content needs to talk about that process. It's a really good way of testing new ideas and offers. It's also a really good way of attracting more leads. And when you get it right, your efforts to time ratio to how much return on investment you get for the amount of clients you get can go up dramatically. So referrals is over here. And the only problem with referrals is that it tends to require you to have customers already. You're essentially asking the question, who would you want to work with again? Now, if referrals you think are on the table, a really simple method that you can use to get them is either call them up or send them an email saying, hey, name, I'm looking to work with more X type of people like you who want Y result. Do you know anyone I could contact? So you could say, hey, Mike, I'm looking to work with more YouTubers who want to increase the amount of views they get per video. Do you know anyone I could contact? It's a really simple process. You can also use it within your network if you haven't necessarily found customers. There's nothing wrong with reaching out to people within your network, asking for referrals. But the key is knowing who you want and what they want. Don't say to people, hey, I do SEO. Do you know anyone who needs SEO services? It's just too broad. If you flip that and say, hey, I want to work with more camera manufacturers to help them launch their next product, that's a way more specific offer. Yes, you will have fewer people saying, I know someone, but you're actually more likely to get more people responding in general. Next up, we have community, and community does this. It starts up here and then it goes all the way down. In my opinion, community is one of the slowest ways to generate leads and sales when you start. However, when you get it going and it's working well, you can start to pay people to manage the community for you, or at least reward them, and the customers begin to generate themselves. Creating a group online for a bunch of people within your niche is very, very simple to set up as a platform. The hard work comes in maintaining that community. My advice would be offer small, regular pieces of content, not that dissimilar to the organic content that we've talked about earlier. Maybe do a weekly live training with a really strong call to action. If you can do this, a community can grow your business faster than anything, but there's a little bit of a sort of exponential curve in terms of how much time and effort you have to put into it for how long in terms of how many customers you can get. Next up, we have a micro product. So a micro product can start up here and then dip down just into this part here. A micro product is something like a book on Amazon. So if you look on Amazon, I've got 4 or 5 books. They not only generate thousands of sales. Now, I only make a relatively small sort of percentage from that. However, the leads that come from those books, it's literally hundreds a week. The reason I like this is if you choose something like a micro product and put it onto a marketplace that has its own algorithm, like Etsy or eBay or Amazon, you don't necessarily have to do any advertising because their algorithm will push popular products to the right audience. If you can rely on Amazon's algorithm to find customers, you can then continue to upsell to them later down the line. The only problem is that it takes a lot of time and effort to create the product in the first place. You need to have an offer that you know will convert really, really well and be popular. It's not just enough of having the product out there, but when it works phenomenally well. Okay, so the last one is advertising, and that falls below this money line here because we have to spend money on ads. You can't do it for free. In my advice, you should start advertising when you're at about $20,000 a month. That's a pretty good place to start. Ads have a really funny way of making you either no money and you never make any sales, even though you spend a ton of money on them, to becoming probably one of the most profitable and scalable ways of growing a business. Now, like I said, you shouldn't rush into advertising. It shouldn't be something you do straight away. I think you should hit a certain level before you get into ads. Now, I can hear every Facebook ads bro screaming at me now and typing into their little keyboards. Like, ads are the only way to scale a business. You have to do it. I'm getting incredible results for my clients. I'm crushing it. Sure. Ads require 2 things. They don't tell you this. A proven offer and money. Now, if you don't have a proven offer, you will have to spend money to prove the offer. Ads are amazing at getting businesses to go from like 50% up to 100%, but they are lousy at getting things to go from 0% to 20%. Once you've passed that sort of threshold, they're a fantastic way to scale, but don't rush into them just because some knobhead marketer with a backwards baseball cap says, this is how real businesses work, bro. Trust me, I'm crushing it. Anyone who's worth their salt will tell you categorically that you can easily hit $20,000 a month if your product and offer are right without having to advertise. And then, yes, ads are a really good way of adding rocket fuel to that, but they're not going to do anything other than cost a lot of money to prove the offer. And yeah, some businesses have got hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to test the offer with advertising. But having worked in businesses from tiny $50,000 a year mom and pop style businesses up to billion-dollar corporations, I can guarantee you the ones who advertise effectively have got a proven offer that they have tested elsewhere in the market before they spend any money on ads. Also, you shouldn't be doing the ads, right? You should be paying someone else to do the ads for you. You should be making enough money where there is a percentage at the top to be able to pay someone else to do the ads for you. If you are the one doing the ads, then something is either wrong with your product or wrong with your sales methodology, and there isn't enough profit for you to pay someone else to do it, because you should be paying other people to do the ads for you. Your job should be having conversations with more clients and coming up with better ideas to lead your business. Now, you're probably wondering, now that you've got all of these kind of client acquisition processes that you want to use, where are you going to send this traffic? That's why I've got this video here talking about my favorite, simple, super fast to set up 3-page marketing funnel that makes me over $150,000 a year in passive revenue, and you can use with your clients. The reason I love this thing is that no matter what customer acquisition process I decide to go for, this funnel works for all of them. So if you want to learn how to set up a really fast, simple 3-page funnel that works for all customers, go ahead and watch this video right here.